Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dreamers Cross Toonkind 12 FPS. I'm Vamp, and today I'm joined by my lovely friend Kendall. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Candle. I'm excited to be here. This is a fairly impromptu FPS, but I'm playing Shooting Star, my Starbarian.
Me. And this FPS actually takes place in the aftermath of the last game, which if you haven't listened to yet, you probably should.
Yeah, I think it's episode either 13 or 14. I went back and checked the numbers, but Al hasn't posted a bunch of them, so I had to guesstimate based on memory.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about draft points, but now I'm sitting here looking at Norse cards sweating because I don't remember how many games we've been in.
Yeah,
Like since the last time.
I don't think we get draft points for games, but we do get draft points for FPSs to buy items
So
from
we
memory.
get draft points from games, but I think we only get half a draft point for each game.
Um, you will probably have to clarify that with Al because I do not remember.
Yeah, it's been a while, and we're also not really in draft house proper anymore, so it's kind of
Yeah,
like do the same rules apply.
yeah, pretty much.
Mm,
Anyway, um, uh, back to the FPS, I suppose, before we go on another tangent.
yep.
Um, so this probably is gonna have to take place after the night watch, the previous night, because um, that's when mine and Lewis's FPS took place between Graham and Star. So maybe it's the
Hmm.
next day or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, next day probably works, and Star probably like leaves the tent and notices that Nour had woken like around the middle of the night and left, and is currently like sitting by the fire.
Okay, so Star was on night watch with Graham. I'm imagining that maybe Star fell asleep and then wakes up and Noah's sitting by the fire is like, oh, hi.
Yep, and Nour kind of just like blinks at like Star and kind of like smirks a little, and she's just like, "I'm not going to ask any questions."
You get a tongue poked out at you.
And he kind of like looks at Star and just goes back to poking at the fire with a stick.
Yeah, I actually think you might have gotten a little symbol of X through a Z that I wasn't sleeping.
And he kind of like tilts his head, like, "What were you doing then?"
um, there's like a dot 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 and then uh on watch.
Nor just kind of looks at Star and it's just like, "But you fell asleep on watch."
And you get the same X through wasn't sleeping.
Out of character, he was sleeping, right?
Yes, he was
He
sleeping.
totally fell asleep. Nor just like raises an eyebrow at you, Star. Just it's raised.
Yeah, no, sorry, you're getting a stubborn look back. He's not backing down from this one.
I think Nor just overturns a piece of coal and just like, yeah, sure, whatever. You weren't sleeping. Totally believe you. Uh-huh.
Um, I do I part of me wants to roll to see if Star actually believes him or if it's just like so obvious that it's not the truth, but it's as good as they're gonna get.
You can do either.
I think it would be fun to roll. Would you say intelligence?
Yeah. Yeah, I think intelligence would work. either intelligence or insight.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna go with insight then. 8.
Yeah, wow, it sure is nice of Nor to believe you.
It's amazing. Yep. I think after a couple of moments, Star is going to um tap Nor on the shoulder, and there's a gesture of like band-aid and then a question mark.
And Nor kind of like looks at Star and blinks and it's like, what, you need a band-aid?
um, there's an obvious annoyed expression, and then the sort of like the band-aid with the like sort of plus like sort of plus health kind of image coming off of it, and then pointing at Noah and then another question mark.
Let me roll an intelligence real quick. It's oh yeah, I forgot to roll for the Ring of
Rings.
Fortune. I'm gonna do right now.
Okay.
Nope, it doesn't proc, so it's just a straight roll. Yeah, no, he just kind of like looks at Star and is just like, I don't have any of the healing potions on me right now. You should probably go check the cart. I think that most of it is probably still gonna be in that little um icebox, Camise.
Mm. Does Noah know old tune sign?
I'm gonna say he knows a little, but I would not say he knows. Like, he probably would be able to understand it. It's just gonna be rougher for him to actually try to tune sign himself.
Okay, well that'll work fine. Because Star has switched over to old tune sign and signs out. How are you feeling?
And that and Nora kind of like blinks and it's just like it's exhausted, but anyone would be after something like that. And he kind of like grins and goes, "What? You worried about me?"
Do you want to roll an insight?
Sure. Sweats. Sure. 7. Oh my god, the dice have been
Aw,
so mean.
the dice are being so mean. Um, everything's fine, no. Um, oh god, Star, what are you going to do to that question? Oh, I think they're just gonna ignore the question, honestly, and just continue with the Does continuing in tune sign, does anything hurt?
And god, okay, I'm actually gonna roll like a con real quick just to see if anything does still hurt. Like just to see how badly off he is right now. Thankfully his con is actually like pretty decent, so
Oh, the dice are really bullying us today.
yeah,
Oh
they
my
sure
god,
are.
that's a nat one.
Yeah, okay. So Nora's just like, no, nothing hurts, but yeah, that's a not one. Even with his deception, like you can clearly tell that like he got stabbed 3 times, and he's not a real kind. Like, yes, we have healing potions in this world, but he probably did actually have to get stitches and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Star, you are completely within your right to not buy it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna roll because the dice are being mean, so yeah, Star doesn't buy it. You can tell by his expression that they don't buy it.
And Nora's just like, stop looking at me like that. I know I'm fine.
Yeah. there is a slight sort of like I'm not sure if I still don't believe you, but I mean you are walking around and that's good and that means you can heal from it. So even if you're not feeling good right now, you will probably be feeling better in the future. Um so I think Star's gonna give Nor a like a little pat on the hand and um then there's a is there anything I can do to help?
God, and I think I'm rolling deception real quick. Deception. His deception is. Wait, what? DMV? Don't bullshit me. I know for a fact that his deception is higher than a +5.
I mean, it is a charisma based modifier, so.
Yeah, I know it's higher than that.
Um,
Da-da-da-da. What? His deception is a +5? I could have sworn. Oh, wait, no, I changed. I got permission from Al to change his background recently.
ah.
So he's still a good liar, but he apparently lost the proficiency in deception. Which sucks, but okay, that makes sense because he hasn't actually been rolling very good deception this entire like campaign anyway.
Ah.
Oh my god, the dice.
Okay, well, I'm gonna roll an insight to contest that.
Eh.
Finally, a good roll.
Yep, and yeah, he Norris he hides it, but he also seems kind of taken aback that you're asking whether he's alright or not. He's still not very used to social connections in general, and you know what he was. You know what he was before he was the human looking guy you see now, so you know why he seems taken aback.
Hmm. Yeah. That that hurts on multiple different levels. Um.
Hmm.
Uh.
Smiles at you and pats my eyes.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I probably do need to roll this for a star then. Um, okay. I mean, that's decent. The star does look kind of you can probably tell they look a little bit upset by um at you like you maybe don't know why, um but they do look a little upset right now.
Laura just kind of like looks at Star and it's just like, what? Why do you look so upset?
You're getting a hug, Noah.
God, you hug him and he just like stiffens up completely, and he at least knows what a hug is. He's been hugged in Dreamer's Crest before, and it was an experience. But he just kind of like stiffens up and just very awkwardly like stays stiff like in the hug. Just uh uh,
It's
and
alright.
actually, I want you to roll a real quick. What would this be? Because like, remember how I told you that he'd been stabbed like 3 times,
Oh, right. Do
and
you,
you are literally hugging him. You are also a barbarian.
yeah, do you want me to roll a strength or maybe a sleight of hand or something like that?
I'd say roll a strength save, and the higher you get, the more likely it is that you actually do keep a good
Yeah,
handle
yeah.
on your strength. But if you get low, then you just straight up like crush his injuries.
Okay, well, alright, here we go.
You're a barbarian. You're gonna be fine. You're a barbarian.
Do not jinx. It. I say too late. It's a nat one.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so Star, you're hugging Nor, and then he goes stiff, and then he makes like a noise through his teeth, and you abruptly remember that one, Nor was stabbed 3 times. Two, you are hugging him near the area where he was stabbed because you're very short, so I feel like that's probably the only area you managed to get to.
Yeah. Three.
Three, Nor
Star.
is real kind.
And Star is a barbarian who has kind of not been in the best emotional state, so I can imagine that it
Yeah.
was like unexpectedly like rough, and so it was immediately like let go, and then just like um like um hmm, I'm gonna roll a medicine.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm gonna roll a contract after your medicine just to see like if that actually like
Oh, okay.
made the wound worse. Oh, that's fine. Okay, there's 30, 20. Thankfully, even though it did jar the injuries a lot. Actually, no, I'm rolling at disadvantage. You rolled a nat one.
Yeah. Oh, the dice.
Oh my god, the dice. Yeah, Star, you notice that yeah, Nor does have some white bandages around his midsection, right? And you notice that a spot of red is starting to bloom over the white.
Oh no. Okay, I probably do need to roll this. Oh, good. Star's panicking.
Oh god, what is Star Heart gonna do?
Um, um, they see this, and then there's just this look of distress, and then now they're sort of like, um, running around the camp to try and find, more of the, supplies.
God, and Nor's just like Star, I'm fine, I'm fine. But like he kind of like cuts off wheezing because God, that's a nat one. Those are
Yeah,
two nat ones, and this on top of the fact that he already rolled a nat one for how much he was hurting.
yeah,
That's like three nat ones stacked on top of each other. So even though he's like putting up a token protest, like I imagine that he's probably like a little too pale to like really make an argument for it.
Okay, well, that was an 18 on perception, so I think Star has managed to find the supplies. Probably like and carries like everything plus like I think grabbed some pillows and blankets, and you don't even know where he got half of this stuff, and it's all just getting plopped down in front of you. And like some of it on you, like the blankets and pillows is just like getting wrapped around you. Yep.
Yeah, and Norris like in a lot of pain right now, but he just kind of manages to smile through gritted teeth, and it's just like, don't suppose you know how to dress injuries, huh?
I'm gonna say with that 18 in medicine before plus some backstory stuff that the answer to that is a yes. So you get a nod.
And Norris just like normally he would protest this more. However, he is in a lot of pain right now because again, those were three not one stacked right on top of him. So
Yeah.
so Star he will like let you like rewrap the injury and possibly like stitch him up again like if you're willing. And he
Yeah.
is simply not gonna do it himself, however, because I guess Jared Nor, he used to be a phoenix. He would not know how to fucking do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Um I hmm. I want to say that Star would do this, but then I'm like, do I roll for this or what if the dice continue to be mean?
I'd say roll for it. It's medicine.
Okay, another medicine?
Another medicine.
Alright. Okay, that's another 18.
Alright, that works. That works. The panic has actually streamlined your focus. Your hands don't shake at all as you start unwinding the bandages and begin to work on the injuries. Which, yes, the stitches that reopen because of the pressure that was applied to them.
Yeah. Also, hey Nor, Star looks like they've done this before.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, Laura kind of watches Star do this for a bit, and it's just like, you used to be a doctor or something?
You get a pause, um, like a slight pause in the middle of what they're doing, and then a shake of the head before they continue working.
And Nora kind of like goes quiet for a bit before he pipes up again, like in idle curiosity, like, "Well, how did you learn how to trust wounds then?" And he kind of like probably hisses here as Star like starts like I have no like experience in medicine, but probably starts like desanitizing the wound, like sanitizing the wound, and he's just like, "How do you know how to do all this then?"
Yeah. No, no, that's generally how you do is like, yeah, you clean the area. I think probably I don't know whether you would do it. You generally, I think you do it before and after you would do the stitches, probably. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, but does Noah want to roll another insight?
Yeah, sure.
No, Noah's in too much pain.
Yeah, he's in way too much pain.
Now I got to figure out how to respond because Star currently has their hands full. Um, I think and there's a sort of silent image above Star's head as they're working. And now I gotta figure out. Now I gotta figure out how to explain this in emojis. um, 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 God. You get a couple of short images of people fighting, and one of the people fighting getting injured, and then another person also in like fighting gear coming and helping them.
Mm-hmm. God, and Nora's just like, "So that's how you know medicine because you helped them."
There's another nod.
Oh, and he kind of like his sister is to forget go. Well, at least this comes in handy. No offense to Petra, but well, it's good to have more than one healer on hand.
Yeah, there's a pause and then another nod. And then you get some more images of uh sort of like a group of people, and then they sort of like randomly like different amounts of them appearing like out of that like group, and then followed by like a uh like um basically needing to be prepared symbol, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, essentially you don't always know who you're going to be with.
Ah, Nora just kind of like nods at that, and again, it's that thing where he doesn't quite get it. is he's never really like up did up and like the point where he woke up was like the start of his experiences. He has the memories of his previous life, but they're also not quite his experiences either. So he's just like he makes a non-committal noise, and it's just like I mean, it's a good thing you remember how to do this in the first place. How long has it been?
I hmm. I mean, it's kind of hard to say because I know when he would have learned this, but I don't know if they would have used it in any of the time period after that. I'm gonna say no. So okay. Um the answer you get is you get another symbol because again hands aren't free. Which is a greater than 200.
Ah, and Nor actually nods at that and goes, "Huh, not that long ago, huh?"
That gets a silent chuckle um and followed by like a tuned figure uh and then like an X through it.
Nor kind of tilts his head and squints as he tries to figure out what that means. And like he tilts his head like a bird, basically. Like it's so very clearly bird-like Star. You're not sure why you didn't figure out he was a bird before all that TM started happening.
uh, yeah, there's a another sort of amused chuckle that's completely silent and followed by a how I this is really hard for me to figure out like how to how to play Pictionary essentially to get messages across. um
Yeah, it really is.
um there's another tune and then 200 again, and then the tune is like stereotypically old, with like the cane and really wobbly and like shrunken version um sort of thing. Kind of, yeah.
He and I'm gonna roll another fucking intelligence.
Yeah, you're also welcome to roll a history.
Oh, history, hell yeah. History, history, history. That's just gonna be a regular plus 3. No, I mean it's that thing where he's very intelligent, but so he doesn't really have proficiency in history. Because even though he lived through all those events, number one, he was not a participant in said events. Number two, he was like probably like, why would he have cared about events that mortals were going through? And number three, he doesn't really have all his memories from centuries past.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think the 14 isn't enough of an intelligence to figure out that um you know um that for most mortals 200 years is um considered a long
A
time.
long time.
And that history, I'm gonna say, is probably still enough to remember that hey, wasn't there this thing called the erasure that happened on the Inkwell continent? Like, I don't know, I don't remember how long ago it happened, but it was not that long ago relative to you.
And I do remember that he actually talked about this with Petra during their like FPS. And holy shit! Hold on, someone's calling me.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I'm back. My sister just wanted me to walk the dog after this FPS. But
That's fair.
yeah, I think Nor does process that and it's just like, well, yeah, 200 years is a lot, I guess, by well, mortal standards, but mine too now. And he considers this before going. Though wasn't didn't something happen like pretty recently in like something called I believe Petra called it the erasure?
Okay. I'm going to let you roll insight at advantage for that.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
thank you for the advantage. That was my another not one.
Yeah, because this time Star definitely pauses for much longer this time. Uh for like a almost concerning amount of time, and then there is another nod.
And Nora actually kind of looks at Star and notes that, then it's kind of just something the matter.
Hmm. Um, would you say by this point that Star's probably finished dressing Noah's wounds?
I'll say so just because they have been having this conversation.
Yeah, okay. So I think Star's gonna sit back on their heels and uh God, like you can tell with that insight that there is a conflicted um that there's a very conflicted expression on Star's face. Um they yes, something definitely happened. But they're kind of struggling to figure out how to respond to your question.
And I think Nora just kind of tilts his head again and goes, "If something did happen, then you don't have to answer the question." He is slightly learning kindness? Question mark.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna roll. All right. There's a sort of a sigh. And then the tune sign is back. And it's you know how we're visiting Petra, Petra's home, and we don't know what we'll find.
And actually, it's Unpot. Can you repeat that?
The response was, you know how we're traveling to Petra's home, and we don't know what we'll find.
Yeah, Nora does make a bit of a face there and goes, "Yes, unfortunately, I'm very aware." And he gestures at like the injuries.
Yeah. There's a small smile at that. It doesn't stay on for long. Um, as Star takes another deep breath and uh Petra's not the only one to have uh lost her family, and I do know what I'll find.
Ah, that's Nordis kind of lapses into quiet at that. Cause how do you respond to that? He doesn't know. Like he did have, he knows what grief is. He felt it like with the original Nor. He remembers how like it had felt like seeing that, but it was also like removed in a sense, and a lot of like the conflicting emotions came from the fact that it was so removed. And clearly, like with Star, it's not.
That's a bit of an understatement, yes.
Yeah. So he kind of just like sits there, like staring at Star, and like very much struggling to figure out something to say.
Um, you get a small pat on the hand, and then it's all right. It happened a long time ago. Um, and I should probably roll this. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay. Oh, it's not too bad.
Was that with safe?
No, that was a deception.
That's a dirty 20 in inside.
Yeah, well, it did happen a long time ago, but it's not all right.
Yeah, and I think Nor just straight up says that, like, you said that it happened a long time ago by mortal standards, but you're also not okay, right?
There's a pause and a wince and um kind of a guilty look.
And Nor's kind of just, what have you been doing since that happened?
Mm, and you get two words. Traveling and helping.
Huh. And Nor kind of like nods at that, and he gets that much. Like, first thing he started doing when he woke up was travel.
Hmm.
And the latter bit he kind of doesn't really understand, but he also got into trouble for trying to help that one drider, so I suppose he understands it a little better now. And he kind of just you've been staying in Dreamer's Crest for a while now, too.
There's another long pause, followed by a nod. Um, with that, I'm gonna roll off that dirty 20 insight from before. Um, yeah, Star is well aware of this as well, and they look conflicted, and they won't look at you.
Nora kind of like tilts their head again, like tilts his head left and right. Just like, what's 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 eating at you now? Because like as far as he can tell, that was a pretty innocuous question.
Oh, oh God. Okay. How do you respond to this? Um, I think in a bit of a toony fashion, Star's gonna like look down at themselves and sort of like turn in a circle, and then you get a image of like um being eaten, and there's an X through it.
An image of something being eaten.
Yes, as in like literally being eaten. As in, no, there's nothing eating me.
God. Okay, and Nora is just like looking. Nora's just like, don't act smart with me.
Okay. All right, I should probably roll this. Okay, not too bad. That was another whiz save. Um, there's another sigh. Um, and then star signs. I We thought you were dead.
Nor considers this, nods and goes, "Yes, that's a pretty fair assumption. I thought I was dead."
Yeah, there's um a nod and a it really scared me.
God, Nor was like attempting to play it off a little when he was like, "Oh yeah, I also thought I was dead." But like when Star says that, he kind of like goes quiet and he kind of just taps like his fingers on his knee for a second and goes, "It scared you?"
There's a nod and then I couldn't lose anyone else.
Hmm, yeah, me knowing full well about like considering that Star literally had just told Nor about, the broad strokes of what happened, like I think that does make like Nor go quiet, and he kind of keeps tapping his fingers on his knee and goes, "I mean, even if I die, I'm just going to come back."
He, um, there's a uh how like basically like the two sort of responses uh okay, there's a uh that yeah, okay, so essentially Star shakes their head and there's a fairly long sentence that comes out that's uh I wasn't thinking about that at the time, and even if I was, you've said yourself that it's not the same.
At that, Nor doesn't really have anything to say. Like, part of why he said that was to see how Star would react to that, because he knows that, like, the idea of coming back after death is not really something that most people would get. And the fact that Star, like, gets it, like, so implicitly, even though Nor hasn't really, like, made much comments about it, is just kind of just goes quiet because, again, what do you really say about that?
Yeah, there's a reason Star has been trying not to bring this up.
And he kind of just looks at Star and just very quietly goes, "You know that I'm like, I mean, I've been getting better at understanding it." He makes a bit of like quotation marks around the better, but I'm not like you and the others, right? I, I mean, you know that I don't know if I can care about you in return, right?
there's a there's a nod, um, and sort of like again, there's a bit of a pause as he's trying to think of the like right words to say and response to this before the basically comes across what what they say is you're not the first to be that way that um I'm friends with. Um and there is a little bit of a hesitation before the word friends. Um and then and it's kind of a moot point because you don't always pick who you care about. And then okay, do you add this last bit or not?
Oh god. Me learning more about Star in this FPS than I have in the past campaign.
uh, okay, yeah, followed by else I wouldn't have gotten attached in the first place.
Nor kinda jokes back at that in surprise. Less like surprise of the fact and more like surprise that Star's just straight up admitting it to him. And then he kinda like nods and then he just nods and it's like, yeah, that makes the two of us, I suppose, as he turns over like a piece of coal. Fire's fire's beginning to die down, but he casts a spell and like makes the fire back up.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I will admit that a lot of this, I wasn't expecting a lot of this to come out at this point, but recent events and also the FPS with Graham has sort of
One?
led Star to the point where he's willing to admit it to Noor.
Yeah, yeah. And God, I want to press for details, but I also know enough that like he asked the original question out of idle curiosity. He has his answer, so he's not gonna like ask deeper.
Fair enough.
Mm.
I
And he kind of, hmm?
No, no, you go.
You go first. You go.
No, I want to hear what you were saying.
Nah, he just kind of sits there. Like he is quite talkative. It's more like I think in this moment he's still tired, and also like he did literally just get his wounds restitched again.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I think Star is going to sort of like um they they're gonna like poke Nor gently in the arm this time um and before signing uh two of us, like, cuz Nor said that makes two of us.
And he's just like, well, I don't know if I say that I cared about any of you, but he pauses, pokes at a piece of coal, overturns it. It's well, it's not caring, I suppose. It's different from what anything I've ever felt back when I was still a phoenix.
There's a nod and um this time round has been a lot different for you, hasn't it?
Well, he kind of like gives the chuckle that found myself in a physical human body for one, and retained almost all my memories of my last life for a second, and remembered the friendship I had with a human for the third. Kind of like overturns a piece of coal. Do you say this or not? Okay. And continues with, met one of my captors for the fourth.
Okay. You get a raised eyebrow at that. Um and and then a do I need to punch someone?
Or kind of like Nora kind of pokes at the fire for a bit and just like I he well if what they said was true, they did turn around and did try and help to free me for how little good that went.
Hmm. I'm going to roll an intelligence. Okay. Cuz again, given a little bit of what they talked about last night, um I think an 18 is enough for Star to put some pieces together, would you say?
Yeah, it's, yeah. Like what you, yeah, especially because Nora's next words are literally just kind of useless to be mad at them anyway. And he doesn't like say why, but like putting the pieces together, you can kind of figure out that it'd be kind of useless if the person in question doesn't even remember.
Yeah, okay, I think that definitely is the thing that clicks everything in place because um yeah, essentially the pieces that Star did have was that they know that Graham got injured by the people they used to work for um because they did something bad but they don't remember what it was and they don't really want to find out like do anything to find out because yeah they don't
Yeah.
want to alert them to the fact that they're still alive.
Yeah, and I know that Graham like and Nor actually did talk in their FPS, and Graham stated like that they did not betray, like they did not betray the Phoenix and the original Nor, and so like Nor is a pretty intelligent guy, so he put the pieces together like on his own times, but it's also still just good.
Hmm. Hmm. There's a sort of a oh expression and then a nod.
Yeah, yeah. Starforce, looking Starforce. Oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Stars slowly piecing together other people's histories.
Yeah, it's also that thing because it's also that thing that when because Star probably remembers that short period of time where there was like tension between Nor and Crab,
Yep, yep. And I think
and
Law
that
2 also mentioned that they
yeah
recognized Graham, didn't they?
yeah like for a second there, Nor too said that I believe their exact comment was oh your name is Krem. A lot of people named Krem then.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So it's like Star can probably piece the pieces together and figure out that Nor like did recognize this gram, like recognize their gram and kind of reacted pretty understandably.
Yeah, yeah. So you know that like that expression like with the hands clasped in front of the face, that's sort of the expression that Star is making right now, like, ah, right. Hmm.
Yeah, and then Nor kind of shakes his head. It's just like it's fine. It didn't actually happen to me. Not really.
Is a nod. pat, another pat on the hand because not going for a hug this time. And then um, you can still be sad about it though, or angry.
Oh, I was. Like, Nor just says this straight up. I almost burned Graham for it.
And so,
He just says Graham's name at this point because I feel like Star is being like obvious enough with his being that like Nor can probably figure it out.
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna say that. Yeah. With the lack of surprise when you right out say the name, it definitely confirms it for you. Um, and there's a well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yep. Uh, I suppose I'm glad I didn't either. Kinda sucks, and I'm gonna roll another D2. If it's a 1, he doesn't say it. If it's a 2, he says it. It's a 1, he doesn't say it.
Okay.
You're so lucky. But, yeah, he doesn't say it, and he just kind of like looks at the coals on the flame for a bit before going. Do you think we should wake up the others right about now?
Hmm. Um, I think uh I think Star sort of thinks, and there's sort of like a hand wavy motion of I'm not sure. Um, before, um, yeah, I think they will say this. They sign out. I stuck around Dreamer's Crest because I didn't want Petra to go through what I did alone.
Nor just kind of nods at that. Mm, he looks back at the flames for a bit and goes, "You're you're a pretty good guy, Star. I'm sure she appreciates it."
There's a long breath, and like sort of like running their hands through their hair, like pushes it down almost flat before it just poofs back up again. And there's just a thanks.
Mm. And I think like Nor nods at that for before going. Wonder if I can make the excuse of not helping set up anything if I claim that that I'm bleeding out.
Um, I think um, oh god, there's like a little bit of a like shocked chuckle, and then Star point like basically signs I don't think you should be doing any work after um like any strenuous work at the moment considering I broke your stitches with a hug.
And Nor just claps his hand and goes, "Great! I don't have to work. Great, amazing, lovely. I'm so glad you volunteered to say this to the others. Thank you, Star." And he like kind of pats Star on the head before fleeing back into his tent.
I don't know if you see sort of like back is you get a pass this time.
And I think we can end the affairs here.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
It was fun. I'm very glad that you were like that I was able to jump on the opportunity because I've just been wanting to go a bit feral with FPSs at the moment anyway.
I do gotta go and like walk my dog now,
That's
but it
fair.
was fun.
This was
Bye,
yeah, good
Glenda.
fun. Have a good time. Bye.
You as well. Bye.